All right, had our first bowl practice. Like the energy out there. We got some good work in today, about an hour and a half work. So we're off and running. We'll take some time off here, though. We don't come back out until Friday. We'll go Friday and Saturday, which is also our awards banquet, and we'll have a number of recruits up. So we'll have a pretty good weekend for our recruits here, where we'll have our awards banquet, practice, and get a couple of days Friday and Saturday with our team as well. So good day today. Good to get them back out there, and got some good work, 11 on 11, some good action today. So I was pleased with today's practice. Questions?
Pinstripe Bowl, initial reaction to heading to New York?
Well, it's been a great place for us. You know, I remember us being at Yankee Stadium and the way we were treated there. And New York is certainly a great place for Notre Dame, and we've got great support in that area, Subway alums. So, you know, it's a home away from home. You know, Chicago, New York, the West Coast has been great. So, you know, we'll be well received there. The Pinstripe Bowl has been terrific to work with. They have they've done everything to make it a great event for our players. So I'm really pleased with how they have really initiated and have followed up with making this a great event for our players. So excited about the opportunity for our team.
Ryan, what do you hope to get out of this bowl experience? Sometimes it's getting a jump on 2014, sometimes it's a reward. How do you look at this? What do you want to get out of it?
Well, we want to win the football game first. You know, I want to send out our football team and build momentum into 2014 with a win. And in particular, you know, our seniors going out with a win. I think that's very important. They've meant so much to the program. I think that's first and foremost, is getting a win for our seniors and the momentum that it builds going into 2014. It's not, you know, it's not a catapult into an undefeated season by any means. I don't want to overstate that, but it does leave a good feeling going into the off season when you win that football game. And then secondly, you know, like today, I mean, I was able to work, you know, I think in 11 on 11 today, which is our ones and twos working. I was able to get, you know, 20 reps of, you know, really good work with Malik today, you know, so the young guys get a lot of work. Torrey Hunter and Malik working together today. You know, Max Redfield played virtually all of 7 on 7, you know, those kind of guys getting out there today. So that would probably be as equally as important.
Yeah, Brian, excuse me, a follow-up to that question. How would you respond to those that say you don't have anything, you have everything to lose and nothing to gain in this matchup?
Oh, I don't see how that's the case when, you know, they're a BCS team. You know, they beat Arkansas this year. You know, they played Louisville and Fresno type. They're going in the Big Ten. This is a team that's going to be in the Big Ten this year. So if we don't play well, they'll beat us. So we got everything to lose. We want to win the football game. So I don't know what, you know, I don't know what goes into that kind of thinking. I'm a football coach, so I don't think in those terms. I think we got to prepare our football team. We want to win for our program to get to 9 wins. We want to win for our seniors. And then in that preparation, if we can get some of our younger players some work during this bowl practice, this is a worthwhile time for us and very helpful for our program.
You had originally, I don't know if you were joking about a warm weather site initially, and then some of the players talked about a warm weather site. How did you get to a consensus on New York?
Oh, there were 3 or 4 bowls that were certainly vying for Notre Dame as we were going through this process. The Poinsettia Bowl was certainly one of those that we were interested in. There certainly one of the things is that we were going to be tied into some of these bowls, in particular the Pinstripe, once we entered into our new agreement. So we were looking maybe to try to get into a bowl that we wouldn't have any alliances with moving forward. And so San Diego, or being in the West, was one of those kind of, let's take a shot at that one. But once Northern Illinois lost that football game, that kind of evaporated any opportunity for us in that game. The other one was the Hawaii Bowl, but because of our exam schedule, which took us through the 20th, we would have had to gone out there on 21, 22, 23, and it would have been practice, 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 play the game, and then they don't hold the hotel rooms after the game for you. You got to leave, or you got to find other accommodations, right? So it would have been, the guys go for 3 days, practice, play the game, and it's like, all right, you got to go home. So it just didn't make a whole lot of sense to go there for 3 days and practice, play the game, and then, sorry guys, like if we could have stayed for 2-3 days after and had, you know, some things to do, organized, maybe we could have done something with the Hawaii Bowl, but it just didn't make a whole lot of sense for us to do that.
And then what will your schedule be for this? When will you meet as a team out there?
I think we're planning on the Monday, the 22nd, I believe. Is that correct? 23rd. The 23rd.
Do the players go on break after the bowl, you know, or are you going to try to send them home for a couple days?
No, they'll stay here.
Okay.
They'll stay here, and we'll all go down together. So they'll stay here. They'll finish up on the 20th with their exams, and we'll stay here right through, and then head out together, and you know, be in New York beginning on the 23rd.
Will they have a chance to go home after the bowl?
Oh,
fly out
certainly.
From New York?
Oh yeah. What we do is then we fly them home,
Yeah.
and then it's on them to get back to Notre Dame.
Brian, with kind of a condensed schedule and with finals and everything, how many practices can you get in of these, I guess 14 you'd have left, 13 left?
Total practices, we'll get 10 total practices in.
Almost the allotment that you're looking for
Yeah,
preparation.
yeah, so it's not too bad. It works out okay.
Lewis makes join you?
No, Lewis signed with an agent, so he's not allowed to be part of the bowl in terms of its, you know, bowl gifts, bowl travel, all of those things.
Is there a conversation there about possibly delaying that so we can join you guys and experience all that? How did that process kind of?
I was not involved in that conversation.
Stefan, to it, any update with his decision?
Going to class and doing the deal, and haven't really, all we've done is put in his paperwork to get an evaluation from the NFL. I've had some preliminary conversations about his academic work. He's still got some work to do academically, but we haven't, you know, really delved into the depth of that yet.
Brian, what do you think about Stefan? I mean, if he asked your opinion, which I think he will, what would you tell him?
Well, you know, I think you have to measure out a lot of things in this process. My personal opinion is one that they'll have to ask for, but I think you come to Notre Dame to get a degree, and I think getting your degree is very important in this whole process. But I think you look at Michael Floyd, you look at Manti Te'o, you look at Tyler Eifert, all of those guys came back, got their degrees, and then went on and had great career, or having great careers in the NFL. Lewis has his degree, so I think his situation's a little bit different. I personally think that you come to Notre Dame, you know, you want to get your degree, and it's not just for Stefan Tuitt. That would be for anybody. You know, coming to Notre Dame, I think it's important to get your degree.
Do you think Lewis made the right choice?
I think there's a lot of factors that are involved there. I think the most important choice that he made was coming to Notre Dame and getting his degree. So the rest of those, you know what I mean, are, you know, they're splitting hairs, you know. We'll find out, right? Because those are, you're taking a gamble no matter what. So, but the most important decisions that he had to make, I thought he got them right. And that was coming to Notre Dame and getting his degree. I think he hit a home run on those.
Even if Lou if he delayed the decision, would he even been able to be on the sidelines for the game given his knee?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's at the point now where he can move around. He's able to do that. Mm-hmm.
Were you expecting to have conversations with him about the NFL and
I-
any disappointment that he won't be with
We've had conversations about it. I didn't know about the signing with the agent until it was too late to inform him that by doing so that, you know, you don't get your bull hat. You know, you'll have to buy your bull hat, and you can't fly with us to New York. Lewis in New York would be cool, you know, especially around Christmas time. So that was unfortunate, but you know, I'm sure he'll be fine.
Brian, where are you with Watt and Kona and some of the other guys that have been?
You know, those guys have got opportunities, you know, that will present themselves.
I meant injury-wise.
Oh,
Yeah, Watt and Kona.
Watt is out. He's not going to need surgery, but he's not going to be able to play in the bowl game with the MCL. It's a 2-3 on the grade, you know, so it's going to require immobilization. He's immobilized right now, so he won't be able to play. Kona practiced today, so.
Everybody else in pretty good shape?
Quiz me on guys, and then I can help you.
Like, well, Eshak had been playing, but Eshak.
He practiced today. He looked pretty good.
Lou, help me out.
Yeah, I would say in terms of the game itself, you know, we had an ankle with Corey Robinson. He's a little ginger today, but I think he's going to be fine. I think guys that won't play that you know are significant would be the Watt. You know, Chris Watt was significant, and I think that's it from the game.
How about Shoemate and Hardy reinstated fully for?
Yeah, they're reinstated, both of them. Yeah, they are.
How's the mechanics of play calling going to work in the bowl game? Does that revert back to you? Do you want Mike to take the reins there?
Well, I'm going to coach the quarterbacks, and Mike will coordinate the offense. You know, he'll take lead in terms of the organization of our practices, and but I'll be very involved in things, and haven't really made a decision on how the plays will come in yet. Still kind of thinking about that.
And you're going to put off hiring another coach, whether it be a coordinator or...
Yeah, I don't know if it's, it'll be after the bowl game, but I don't know what direction I'm going to go yet, whether it's, you know, I could elevate somebody from within, certainly, or you know, hire somebody as a coordinator, or hire a quarterback coach, or, you know, hire a position coach. So all those are on the table for me right now.
Brian, it's been,
The Chuck Lott, did you expect that decision this year?
No, I think the opportunity was a great opportunity at Miami of Ohio. I think it's a great program that can be quickly elevated back to its tradition-rich, you know, successes that it's had, and you know, 0-12 last year. I just think the timing was really right. I don't think Chuck was walking around here looking for a job. Our guys don't do that. But if presented with an opportunity like that to run a program that has such great tradition like Miami of Ohio, I thought it was the right decision, and I endorsed it.
Chuck said he was out of a job when you hired him at Grand Valley. What do you remember about initially hiring him in that process to bring him in?
Well, he had just gotten fired at Eastern Michigan, and he was on the staff at Eastern, and I knew, you know, I knew his football acumen. He's a very smart football coach, and just remember having a conversation with him, a very short conversation, and knowing that he was going to be somebody that I wanted to hire. So it didn't take me very long to know that he was a very good fit for me and what I was looking for, and he'll do a great job at Miami. I think they made a great hire.
Is there any advice you gave him when you were outgoing at Grand Valley and he was coming in to be the coach there?
No, he's pretty sharp. You know, you saw what he did. He kind of just continued to do a lot of the things that were in place. You know, his personality came out, but ran the same systems. You know, really didn't try to reinvent the wheel, but you know, his personality came out. But no, he's a pretty sharp guy. He didn't need a lot of advice from me.
Do you feel like beyond him, the rest of your staff will remain intact?
You know, you never know. I think I know that my coaches won't leave for lateral moves. They'll have to be leadership positions. So I'm certain of that. But you know, if there's a head job out there that that makes sense for one of the assistant coaches, I'd look at them. You know, I have really good football coaches, so you never know. But as I said, my guys aren't out sending resumes looking for jobs. But if the right situation comes along, all these guys, especially the ones that have been with me a long time, they know what it looks like, and they'd be great at running programs.
To double back to the bowl, you said the Pinstripe was serious about making this a great event for your players. What are some of the specific things they're kind of willing to do to make this an attractive option for your team?
Well, when you're dealing with our guys, it's bowl packages, right? So, it's just been a very attractive bowl package for our guys. I don't want to get into the details because I think we'd like to probably keep that amongst ourselves. But when I was standing here in front of this big screen and I put up the PowerPoint, I went from being talking about the Pinstripe Bowl and had my guys' attention to, they came out of their chairs when I showed them the bowl package. So, and I didn't get that popular in a very short period of time. So I can tell you they were very excited about the things that they were going to get from the bowl package. So, and it's New York. It's New York at Christmas time, and just the ability to do a lot of things. A lot of these guys haven't been to New York at that time. They were pretty excited about it.
Did they? I mean, the bowl actively recruit Notre Dame? I mean, would you characterize it that way?
I would say that. I would say that. John Mosley would not leave me alone. I think I said, quite honestly, I think I told him to get out of my office a couple of times. He was here for the weekend against BYU, and I know John very well, and my relationship goes back to Culver Academy with him, and John's a great guy, but they were here, and he wouldn't leave. And he wouldn't take no for an answer. So, and we're excited about it because it's fresh in our memory about how we were treated by the Yankees, and they're going to make sure that happens again.
Brian, you talked previously about if Everett gets readmitted, what will happen? Will he practice?
No, because we're not going to practice on the 21st. I think, is it the 21st? Yeah, not the 22nd. So, he won't get here. He's going up to New York to see his girlfriend. So, we're just not going to have the time and place to get him in to practice. So, he may join us in New York for a few days, but we're not going to have a chance to get him in here to practice, assuming he's readmitted into school.
Right. But he would be part of the team. He'd be there on his own.
Yeah, we'll make sure we'll get that vetted through our compliance before I'm, quoted as saying without question. So we're assuming that he's readmitted. He can't do anything until the semester ends, which it ends on the 20th. So once exams end, now he's free to be part of, what we do.
So it'll be the 21st.
Exactly. But we're gone on the so. It just didn't make any sense to do anything, and he's heading up to New York on the 22nd. He had plans. I'm going to go down and see him on Monday, so I'll have a lot more information, in terms of his plans. I'm going to shoot down to Myrtle Beach on Monday.
How do you feel like he's handled that whole process from start to finish with being away from the team?
Well, I thought he initially handled it very well. His comments were right on in my estimation. I think he took full responsibility for his actions and didn't back away from them. And then I think his follow-up, which I had no idea that he was going to be doing an interview with Sports Illustrated. I think that's who it was with. I thought his comments were forthright, and quite frankly, I thought maybe a little bit too revealing. if you he talked about some things that I probably wouldn't have talked about, but I think he took it straight on and never backed away from coming back to Notre Dame and wanting to be back here. So I think he's been a stand-up guy in this whole process.
Do you feel like you will get a better quarterback than when he left, given his time with George Whitfield, or do you really not know what you're getting?
No, I think we're going to get a young man that is going to be a better quarterback, not because of necessarily what George did, though certainly George is very accomplished and don't want to diminish what he can do and how he can help. But I think we're going to get a better person and somebody that's even more committed, because he's going to be so much more committed to being a better student and more committed to everything that he does. And I think that's going to be a better quarterback at Notre Dame. So I can't see a scenario for him not being better at the quarterback position because of that.
Have you been able to have more conversations on the fifth-year status of some guys, especially with Lowe and Alex?
Yeah, you guys know the situation quicker than I do most of the time, but Lowe's gonna, Lowe, we gave him a release. Now these guys will practice and play for me through the bowl game. That's their responsibility, and they have to do that. So they'll be here through the bowl game. So that's Lowe and Alex right now.
Is there anybody else who's kind of looked for options 50 elsewhere?
There's some other guys that I'll have to sit down with, but I don't want to get into that right now.
And I just want, quarterback-wise, would you have a preference of having 4 on scholarship for next season, or do you think you can get by 3? And I'm specifically asking, do you bring back an Andrew or even a Luke Massa for that emergency contingency option, or does somebody like Rashad Kinlaw, who worked with the scout team, maybe serve in that capacity?
I think 4 quarterbacks on scholarship is heavy, but circumstances sometimes put you in that position, and the circumstances might be that you've inherited quarterbacks that have scholarships already. But if you're working through a natural progression, 3 in a preferred walk-on would suit me just fine.
Do you plan on keeping Rashad, or is he going to be a cornerback?
No, he's going to play defense. Yeah.
Well, Mike, the coaches. Mike was your offensive coordinator at Grand Valley at a certain point, right?
Defensive coordinator.
Oh, okay. So he hasn't coordinated offense for you in that?
Not that I remember. He could have. It's been a long time ago.
But does his longevity with you help his ability to call plays and jump right into that, or not call plays, but jump right into that role and perhaps hold on to that role?
In terms of play calling itself, no, it doesn't cause me a concern relative to the game itself, because he's called plays before. Whether you're calling on offense or defense, I'm not that concerned about it. You have to have a feel and a flow for the game. You have to be organized and know down and distance in situations. And he's been on offense, long enough with this system. I wouldn't be that concerned. He's got a long period of being in this offense, and he's got a great deal of experience being around it. I would not hesitate to have him call plays at all.
Anything else?
Great.
Thanks, everybody.